Okay, so hey guys, today we are doing a tutorial. I never done one before, so this is pretty new, but today we are going to be doing a tutorial about Sims 4 CC, and what this tutorial is going to be about is how to separate a bed frame from a bed in The Sims 4. So let's get going. So, what you are going to be needing for this tutorial is just the simple basics. First one, Sims 4. Obviously, you're going to have to run the CC after. Then you need, of course, Blender. If you are very, new to Blender, I would look up more tutorials, then come back to this video. But if you are well advanced to moderate, I would, you can stay here if you want, if that's what you want. It has to be the blender that supports the next one software and that is Sims 4 Studio. This is where the magic happens. You get your mesh, you get your diffuse, you get your specs, you get your normals, you get everything in Sims 4 Studio that comes from the Sims 4 itself. Then you will need a image editing software. And what that is that if you want to change what it looks like on the diffuse, which is basically what it looks like when you put it in games, such as like the bed mattress, if you want to change the color on that, that's your diffuse. So you are going to be needing a photo editing software. I like the free ones. I choose GIMP. It's the best one in my opinion. But if you have Clip Studio Paint or any Adobe softwares, then you can use that. That also works as well. But I like my free stuff. Now, these are the main three that you need to get from Sims 4 Studio. And that is, well, the mesh that you want to tweak and take the mattress from the frame. And that's right here in tutorial, not here in the tutorial, since this is a tutorial. The next one, now this is important. What you need to do, once you have that frame, you are not going to connect it to the bed. Because if you just leave what I show you in Blender there, it's not going to work because the toddlers or whatever sim that you want to make the bed for, they will not be able to access the bed. No matter if you just did the mattress all correctly, you put the frame under, they're not going to be able to get in. So for this one, I got a stack of books from the base game. It's just, a stack of books. I'll have a picture up here. Uh, Then, this is for the more, moderate advanced ones. I've learned this from Sybulette on Discord. She's a fantastic, like, build by CC creator. I would highly check her out if you want to start getting into making CC. But it's the footprint. And what the footprint is, say you have a rug, right? Your Sims can walk over it just easily, right? And that's all because the footprint. If you didn't have a footprint, say if you put like a stack of books or like a bed on a rug or whatever, they're not going to be able to walk past it. So that's going to be for the footprint. So let's go into Blender and get started. Okay, so we are in Blender now. Once you get into it, you'll see a interface like this. You will see a default cube and everything like that. Just regular cube, just cube. But then, if you want to, let's say the tutorial. Let me shrink this down a bit. What I do is I click and drag into here and click append. Then I go down into object, double click that, and then click A, and I'll grab everything, and boom, you have it in. You don't need these in here, and you do not need the cube. So here you go. I am making a toddler bed as an example. So you have two different meshes, Sims Mesh 0 and Sims Mesh 1. This is Sims Mesh 1. It's basically the shadow underneath anything, basically. The thing is, I will not be using this. It's not going to be a part of what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be keeping it in. So I will be hiding this with little eye symbol right here. You just click that. But if you want it to look like, say you see it in The Sims, you click this right here. It's the viewport. It'll take 5 bajillion years for me, but soon it will pop up. And there you go. This is the fuse. The colored part, this is the fuse. And to make it easier, I'm going to pull out a sidebar and set this to UV editor. You go into here and you go down to the fuse. See, this is the fuse. It's like if you cut this to make it look like this, basically. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to Sims 4 Studio Mesh 0. Okay, we are going to be going into edit mode. You can either go into edit mode like this, or you can go into edit mode by pressing tab. If you have hotkeys on Blender, I would suggest getting that situated. Then, what I do to make it much more easier for myself is click this button right here. It's UV Sync Selection. So, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be highlighting all of these, which is the blanket, the mattress, and the pillow. And then you press P, the letter P, on your keyboard, and then go by separate by selection. Okay? And there we go. You have your mattress and the frame. What we needed is we could just get rid of that one right there. But first, I want to make sure that all of the things that need to be just basically still work as a functional mattress work. So we are going into object mode and going down to weight paint. This might look crazy to you, but just hold on, it'll be fine. All of these vertex groups are like weight painting. So, the curvature when the toddler puts its head on the pillow, you will see that. See, that's the pillow. I don't know really how the red and the blue work. I just go by what I know right now. But these are the pillow. This is the blanket. So you have the blanket ones here. Do not touch the opacity and the transform bone. All those. Do not touch those. For me, this looks perfect, alright? You don't change any of it. You do not. You just check to see everything looks good. The pillow, the transform bone. The transform bone is the mattress. You do not mess around with the mattress, or it's just gonna look all weird. Okay, so we got that down. Weight paint is great. Then we hide this and then we open the frame up again. Thing is, now that we see in vertex groups, we have the blanket, everything else like that. Let's go into click this, weight paint. You're gonna see all this, all these are blue. We don't need these. This is just a frame. We are going to get rid of all of these blankets and pillows and the opacity. We are going to get rid of all of those except for the transform bone. We are going to keep that. Now for me, I am going to design the bed frame off camera because it'll take a shit ton of editing and I don't want to have to do that. So I will come back with my finished bed frame, with the diffuse and everything, and I'll get back to you. And then we'll continue what we need to do for the rest of this tutorial. Okay, so after an hour or so, I finally got the frame done that I want to show you now. Plus, it's actually going to be part of a collection I am working on at the moment, and I will be posting as soon as it's done. So look out for it. Alright, so this is where we left off. We separated the bed from the frame. So here we have the Sims 4 Studio toddler frame for the bed.
Okay, so now I actually made a new frame, and it's right here. If you know about the animated show Bluey, you would know Bluey and Bingo. So I put Bingo on here right now, but let's remove this. I made a brand new bed frame for the bed. And I made sure it wasn't like sticking out all over the place. And boom. I also took the time to use a different diffuse. So it's in here somewhere. I'm going to go into the bed, go into material, go down, go into this right here under the base one, this, and go down to here. Ain't that cute? Ain't that cute? Yeah, it's a bluey bedding. And if I wanted to change this, I could just go in the same thing and change this to bluey. This is just a simple little bed, you know. Okay, okay, so we are going to hide the bedding mesh, so we only have the frame. So what we're going to be doing now here, it's going to be a bit tricky, but hold on. Work with me here. You will get this. I know you can. I believe in you. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer all the weights from here, which is just the transform bone. Like I said, the transform bone onto the new mesh. Okay? So if I'm getting this correctly, I press the Sims 4 Studio mesh and then my mesh. Might. There we go. Yes, I was correct. Then we go up here because it has to be your mesh that's like in right now in blue. So I go in weights and go down to transfer weights. And now it's red. And now it has the transform bone. We can hide this now. And see how it has a UV underscore 0 and UV underscore 1? That is what we're going to change next. Because for this, you look into the UV right here, that's where it is. Just these two are the same. So that's basically what we're going to be changing. Because my mesh and also your mesh will have UV map. What you need to do is you need to change the name to UV underscore 0. Got it finally. And then UV underscore 1. Okay, so I messed up the hotkeys on my OBS. So that last part with the UVs, and I just put the picture, I messed up and it went to like a BRB sign for like streaming. So I just put that picture in there just so in case anybody wanted to see it because my model is blocking it. So we got that all situated. Now, what we're going to do now, if you can see on the left part here on my screen on Blender, I have a little notepad of what we're going to be doing right now. So we are going to append the stack of books to my mesh here. Okay, so here's this part. We are going to go to the for frame one. We are going to click and drag and append it. Hold on. And then we're going to go down to object A like we did and bring it in. We don't need all this garbage. We can get rid of all these cameras and all these lamps. We can get rid of the rigs too. Well, one of them. Let's hide this and hide this too. So we have a stack of books here. I am not going to be using this. Okay, so we have the stack of books. We have the shadow is underneath in here. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to move these stack of books off to the side. But first, I'm going to put my frame in there. Okay, so we're going to take G and then X and move it off to the side so it does not overlap. Okay, then we are going to, let's see if I can do this correctly. My frame first. Hold on. Yeah, let's get rid of this. So my frame first and then a stack of books. Let's just right here and then right here. Let's see if that'll work because it has to look right in number 4. It says Sim 4 Studio Mesh and then the number. So Control J if you will let me. Okay, thank you. And see, there we go. Then I highlight all of them by pressing A and then take the books and delete the vertices. And boom, we have the frame. And now for the bedding, we're talking about cut numbers now. So for the bedding we have here, we go into the scene properties. You get rid of this. You don't need it right now because this will be a separate one. So honestly, you don't really need this. So I'm gonna just hide it. I'm not gonna delete it. All you need is the frame and the shadow. So for the frame, hey man, we're gonna set this as a 0, and then the shadow will be 1. Now, let's see if this will work in Sims 4 Studio. Now, this is what it's supposed to look like in Sims 4 Studio. You know, you have the stack of books that I had. You know, you can turn the camera here a little bit. You'll have the name, description, price, everything. But we're going to meshes first. We are going to import, and I am going to look at here, and this is going to be tutorial for video. So let's do that and see if it works. And there we go. But there's something going on. See how it has the shadow right here? That's not what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to go fix that off camera. Okay, so what was wrong is the cut number was set to 1 on here for the shadow, and it was supposed to be 0, and then my frame was supposed to be 1 and it was 0. So I just had to switch up the cut number names. So yeah, that's how it works now. Okay, so this is now what it looks like right now. It has the diffuse still for the books, basically. So what we're going to do now is we're going to import all the meshes into each one of these LOD and shadow LODs. I will talk to you with the shadow LOD soon. Okay, now this is what it's supposed to look like. I did it correctly. Now we just do this to the other shadow LODs. Here we go, and the last one right here. And boom, we got that. Now we can go to texture. I'm going to cut these off. Go to import. Yeah, and boom, we got the new diffuse in there for the bluey and for the bingo. I like to go into here for the swatches. I need to go, boom, check that one out. And then I do like the dark color right here. That's going to be for bluey, and then we go over the bingo. And we take this color, and then we take this color. Just so we know which one is which. Now for the normal and the specular, I'm just going to do that off camera too, because it takes a long time to explain and to do, so yeah. As for the rigs and slots, we do not touch them. It's just going to be the transform bone, the FX, and the root. We do not touch any of those. We don't add to any of those, okay? Now we are going to warehouse because now we are going to be putting in the footprint. Okay, we are in the footprint. We are in the footprint. We are not going to be changing any of these manually. This is why we're doing import. And then I'm going to go over to here. And here is the footprint right here. You open that and boom. Now we have the footprint. So if you just set this down, they'll walk right past it. Like in it, basically. So I will check in with you. I'm going to do all this on my own, and we'll check it in The Sims and see if it works. Okay, so my Sims 4 is slow as shit, but I did get this screenshot from my game last night. So yeah, look, it works. Then you could just make the mattress and pop that right in there. Do not put the books with the mattress. Just leave the mattress as is. And there you go. There you go. You got it.